Welcome traders, welcome to a new week. Good afternoon everyone. This is Data Point Online Academy. My name is Lucky Udikwe representing Data Point. I want to welcome traders back to our new week content where we talked about best strategy, best pair, best session to trade, and what the risk management that you need to take for trading. Most recently, we are taking more of the strategic pairs. We have talked about gold. We have also talked about S&P 500. We've talked about BTC USD. But right now, we're going to be talking about Nasdaq. The purpose of this trading is, or for this lecture is, why I trade Nasdaq. It's very simple. If you study the world investments and stocks so far, you find out that Nasdaq and S&P 500 is one of the top stocks that all the investors all over the world don't joke about. Why? Because Nasdaq has all the companies that are well known, that are well productive, that are well performing all over the world. Most of these companies are tech. Talk about Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, even the new one that just launched, SpaceX, is also launched at the Nasdaq platform. That is to let you know how important and useful Nasdaq is. If you are new to this channel, do subscribe, like, and comment so that whenever we post any good content like this, you will be able to have access to it. Now, as we begin, let me quickly do analysis on Nasdaq so that you see the reason why I love trading Nasdaq and the strategy I use. Most especially, I use top-down analysis. On my top-down analysis on Nasdaq, I start with weekly. In most cases, I start with daily. But now let me start with daily on this because I'm going to conclude my entry on 15 minutes. If you check my daily, okay, let me take a new pair or a new page to do that. Now this is a new, on our daily we are on the resistance. We have a resistance here that has been tested before. The market came down and went up again. And we also have another support here. So it shows that we are ready to trade this within this zone to this zone. Now, what do we need to observe again? There's also a minor zone in between here. We have a minor zone between that area. So at this level, we know that the market is actually on the uptrend. So as the market is uptrend, we are going to be looking more of a buy for us to manage our trend, because we learned one thing, that when the market is an uptrend, we keep managing the uptrend. But remember, at this zone, we have a very powerful resistance that has been tested before, and the market went down, came back again to test it. So if we go back to 4 hours, we observe that the market actually tested that zone. You can see, market has tested it. So it shows that we are going to be entering here for a sell. But for us to confirm this, let's use our moving average to check what the market is giving us. So it shows that the red, which is 10 EMA, is above, and the 23 EMA is below, which is the blue. So what we'll be looking at is that market is showing that the blue is going to cross the red below for us to have our entry. Let's check 1 hour. Under 1 hour, you find out that the market is already showing a downward on the moving average, to show that market is going to, the the trend is going to cross. Then so we pull it down to our stop loss to this level. Then we close it above this high because we don't want our stop loss to be too high. Let's just leave it something be above. I think this market is somewhere here. So we'll wait for the market to pull back, then we'll take an entry. This is what we're going to trade. Now on this zone, it shows that if you check back to this minus zone here, you find out that this market has already shown a very good resistance up here that allows the market to drop. So now that the market has retested, we are waiting for our EMA to cross. Once the EMA cross, the red cross the blue, which is the lowest crossing the highest, then we wait for a sell. This sell will continue to, we will observe that if you break this minus zone somewhere here, this will be our first take profit. We use another color for this. This is going to be our first take profit, and this is going to be our last take profit. That is how we're going to trade this Nasdaq or NDS or US Tech or US 100. These are different names that Nasdaq have. Why do we get to this name? We follow different brokers, you get different names. So we hide our EMA, which is we use for our confirmation, because it's very straightforward. It shows that once the market break this zone at this resistance, then we take a sell. So let's see how this market is going to happen in the next few minutes to come. So while we do that, remember I always said that Nasdaq is very technical. We need to check all our fundamentals to be sure that we are in the safe hand. If you check the calendar, you find out that today, Monday, Nasdaq is we only have the US, which is FOMC, is not active. The other ones are Canada, CPI. We're actually not trading Canada, but it's still going to have an effect. That effect has already been implemented, where we have this clear buy or sell that has just happened. Where is that Nasdaq? Okay, so this you see this move you see downward is for that CPI that happened in Canada. You see, every pair has their way they have influence in one way or the other when it comes to different pairs or different stocks. So some companies that are also in US, they have a very big impact in US, in Canada, and in other countries like Europe and co. So that is why you see any news, whether CPI, FOMC or whatever is happening in any country, we have effect in the US dollar because it has a lot of correlation or close relationship, because US dollar is very powerful. It has a very influence in other countries. So that is the reason why you see this move. So let's see what we're going to see on this Nasdaq. This is the move we'll be expecting this Nasdaq to do for the next trade. So if you are in and you are a trader and you have seen this analysis I've done, simple analysis, I don't need to go too much, go for 1 month, 1 week and all that. From 1 day to 4 hours, 4 hours to 1 hour, you can take your entry. I always prefer 1 hour in most cases because the noise in 1 hour is minimal and you can take your trade and watch how it goes quietly. And also it gives you a very good entry level where you can have your stop loss be marked so that it won't take you off immediately. But if we are to, assuming we're doing this analysis at this level, our entry will have been in this zone, our take profit will have been smaller, a bit small, somewhere here, then our take profit will have been somewhere here. But as long as since we have missed this trade, we are not going to take this trade now, then the next trade we are working on, which is the next analysis, will now base on this next entry. Then we make our stop loss a bit high above this. But remember, when you are doing this, you have to reduce your lot so that your stop loss is high, then your lot will be a bit smaller. If you are using one lot, you have to use 0.5. If your 0.5 is your lot, your entry, you have to use 0.25 so that your stop loss is a bit wide. You know, Nasdaq is volatile pair, and that guides your account effectively. Remember, this is very risky. This trading is for educational purpose, is not for any financial advice. We are just giving you this based on what we have studied, what we have learned, and what we trade. So for us to guide you and also support your trading career. Please, if you have not liked and share as just click below, just click the link below, subscribe, likes and share, so that at every time we have this video or any of this content like this to share, you will not miss out. Do like other videos like gold, for those of us who trade gold, BTC, Nasdaq and S&P 500, JBP, JPY, JBP, USD. These are major pairs we trade. Do not forget, as we are doing this, we are empowering you, and we believe that in the next few weeks, months to come, you will be a good forex traders and earn big as others are earning. Do have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best. Good luck and stay blessed.